Cole, my friend, it is great to have you back on A's Cast Live. It's tough to see in the Baltimore stuff because we love you so much as an A, but appreciate you coming on. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I'm always happy to come on A's Cast and spend time with you, so it's nice to be in the Coliseum again.
Well, a place that I think a lot of success for you. You're going to be going tomorrow, but I just think about when you came over from Philadelphia. I remember we were talking about your growth and your transition to prove that you belong, to pitch every 5 days, and you proved it here to yourself and everybody in baseball. This place has to have a special meaning to you.
It really does. Every time I come back here, anytime I came to the field, I was always excited to be here, be in the green and gold, and then now coming back, it's like, there's parts of this place that I miss, and we're winning here in Baltimore, so there's part of that's definitely glued to. I love winning, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff. I was walking around before you guys came out here, walking around on FaceTime with my wife, and just reminiscing about some good things that we were part of in the Oakland community, and just being back in Oakland for the first time since being traded. So, Oakland definitely has a special place in our heart, and is definitely the place where I became a big leaguer.
Yeah, we'll want to talk to you obviously about what's going on in Baltimore, but just one more about Oakland, just like the friendships, and I think about the pitching staff with you and Minaya and Bassett and Frankie Montas. Just when you reminisce about how close you were with some of these guys. Nobody's here anymore, but you have to think about all those guys.
Oh yeah, I still talk to Bassett nearly every day. We're sending Instagram memes to each other and stuff. But also on top of that, Sean's really hard to get a hold of, but try to reach out to him when I can. But Frankie and I are probably the closest out of the guys that I've been with and stayed connected with. Just such great teams, such great camaraderie with the past two Oakland teams that I've been on, and there's a lot of guys in this dugout across the way that I'm still friends with and miss dearly, because you were in the trenches together for parts of 2 seasons or part of a year, and you really learn a lot about each other. So definitely miss a lot of things about Oakland, especially the sports support staff. The amount of hugs I've given out already to all the support staff, from the training room to the clubbies to just about everyone in that clubhouse. I surely do miss them for everything they let me do.
We actually tracked down Sean Minaya during the Giants series. We actually had him on the show. Yeah, it was.
It's like Sasquatch.
Yeah, it's.
It's a rare sighting.
Let's just say, great, one of the greatest guys, and he was fabulous when you got him. But let's just say he wasn't on A's Cast or the pregame show a lot.
Right.
Yeah. You, Bassett, everybody came out. It was hard to get Sean Minaya. Even Frankie. Once Frankie was cool with doing. Without the interpreter, Frankie came out. Minaya was always a tough one to track down. He was great once you tracked him down, but he was tough. Let's talk about the Orioles. Here you go, man. So in our world of the AL East, where it's always Yankees, Red Sox, the little Rays team, Baltimore's been getting its you-know-what kick for years, and all of a sudden, here we are. You get traded in. You guys are in first place. Yankees are under 500. Red Sox are in 4th place. You've overtaken the Rays after a historic start. Just like, what has this ride been like?
It's been pretty amazing, and that all extends all the way back to spring training. This group was very youthful coming in, and a lot of it reminded me of the 21 team that I was a part of here in Oakland. Just the camaraderie, the closeness, how quickly we got together and started playing together as a group and actually caring about each other. That's what makes good teams win, and there's a lot of that in our clubhouse day to day. A lot of guys care about what's going on in guys' personal lives, to their philanthropy work. Kyle Gibson had a Top Golf event, and I think more than half the team showed up in support of Kyle's event, and that donated to the local community of Baltimore, food drives and some other situations that the group worked with. So it's just amazing that this team is so close in that way. We all work together. We all want to be a part of each other's lives in some capacity, and a lot of lifelong friendships being created in this clubhouse. And the other thing was, like, there was already that established camaraderie because a lot of these young guys came up together, played together, and knew what made each other tick. So it wasn't that much of a transition when they got to the big leagues. And Adley Rutschman is the real deal. So
no doubt.
Same with Gunnar Henderson as well. Geez, I mean, I could go on about the rest of our team, but I mean, those guys are real deal. Watching them play every day is a lot of fun. Their work ethic for how young they are is definitely every bit of the word professional.
You know, it's so interesting. I've been talking about it with this young core with the A's, and I say, you know what? And Baltimore's a great example. It's okay if a young group comes out and gets their ass kicked every single. They're going to learn from it. They're going to grow from it, and there is no question getting beat up every single year in the AL East, getting beat up in the minor leagues, that this young core has really come together. And it's so funny when you talk about great teams. It took you a while before you even got to the talent. You talked about how close the team was first.
Yeah, and that speaks to just this clubhouse, this team as a whole. It truly is the definition of team and working together night to night, day in and day out to do whatever the job is to get it done. And sometimes the nights don't go your way, and then that next day, it's nothing happened the previous day. It's just a fresh slate. Guys are ready to come compete every night at the ballpark, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Rutschman, I mean, you talk about, the talent, obviously, to be catcher, switch hitter, and all of that, but the leadership that he brings at such a young age. I mean, he's the leader of this team that is now the top in the AL East, the big bad AL East. Just what is he like?
He's, first off, I think Adley, a lot of Adley's beliefs and stuff, go unnoticed, and he's very humble. Which I think first and foremost stood out to me the most. He truly cares about each guy on the team and pitching staff, importantly. But I think I was surprised with how humble and how devoted to his work he is, and he's just very simple. He's just day to day. He's makes it easy, and he's really easy to get along with. There is no ego with Adley, and so it's a lot of fun.
You realize you're talking about an Oregon State guy.
I do, and I'm wearing
right?
black and orange too. Okay, so there's part of that is a little difficult.
Painful?
There is a little bit of difficulty there, but you know what? He going into my last start in Seattle, a bunch of Oregon State fans were there for him, and then yelling about how much I suck and how much I went to Oregon. So long story short, Adley made a joke. He's like, he's with us now, even though he wore duck colors. He's with us now. And after that, I kind of laughed, and he kind of made it, whatever that guy was saying, it was awesome. So he just made it easy for me. It was Adley's been great. He makes things light with everyone, and he definitely knows the personality of each pitcher out there.
Well, we're going to ask you about the Pac-12 because we know how much it means to you. How important is it? I haven't really thought about it, but we're starting to get ready for college football. As my San Jose State Spartans are taking on USC first game, week 0. So we're hoping to end the last year of SC in the Pac-12 in a miserable way. But how bad do you want to win the Pac-12 in the last year of maybe Pac-12 football?
I honestly, from a Pac-12 standpoint, you want to win that last one to be the.
Yeah.
But it's funny because my grandfather played in the Pac-8. I played in the Pac-12, and so the Pac has a little bit of a special place in my family life. So it's going to be tough to see the Pac-12 go. But I will say being able to go up to Maryland and watch the Ducks or Trojans take on Maryland will be a lot of fun. It'll be a little bit closer. Yeah, Rutgers I might not go
Indiana.
to. I'll definitely probably go to Ohio State or Michigan. Those games. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see some bigger football. Maybe it helps with recruiting too. I haven't really thought about too much in depth of how it affects all the other sports. I know it's travel-wise, it's going to be a pain in the butt for all the baseball programs to travel coast to coast. But you know what? A lot of those guys that I played with when I was in college, we all had the same goal in mind, and is win obviously college, but try to get to the next level. So maybe it prepares some guys a little bit more for professional ball and gets them excited for that life.
Well, I know they say all the time when a former player comes back and they say, hey, we're rooting for you, just not this week. And not true. I'm always going to root for you because you were so good to us as we've grown this thing and it's gotten bigger and bigger and we've become #1 in all of Major League Baseball. You were definitely a part of it when you came over. I remember the first time we interviewed you, you were back home. You were about to go go-karting. You were in your car on video. I can't say enough for the time that you gave us and always being there for us. So no matter, I don't care who you're pitching against, I'll always be rooting for you. And thank you, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Everything you did for us here at A's Cast and A's Cast Live.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And again, you guys have always treated me great and really enjoyed being on the show. Always, anytime you guys asked, I was always loving coming on because I knew we'd have a little banter for football and among other things. You guys are so insightful and think about everything that goes into our game and aren't just solely focused on A's, but it's really cool what you guys do and how you guys go about your interviews. So it's been a lot of fun to be a part of. And last thing for Oakland fans, just know that Oakland has a special place in my heart, and I miss you guys, and I'm with you guys every step of the way throughout your guys' process and everything that's been going on. So I got your guys' back.
He's the man right here on A's Cast and A's Cast Live.